Hopefully I'm going to be able to get this video to go through without it stopping now. Because I've tried it twice now and kind of got lost from you. And then it kind of stopped. Because I was trying to do too much at one time, I think. But well, thought I had it back. Okay. Hopefully this one will continue and I can show you what I'm trying to show you. It cut out on me twice because my internet was messing up. If you are looking for your tax stuff for the state you live in, you go to where your payment account, and you can look at monthly statements for each individual month. Down here where this little graph is, it does tell you how much tax was collected during that month. Now this figure is the sales and use tax that was collected for your state only. Okay, this does not give you the figure for all of the states that they collect taxes on. It is just giving you what was collected for your particular state for that month. They do not give us the when somebody makes some buys something, they give us the tax information on the receipt that shows the customer paid X amount of tax for Pennsylvania or for Washington or wherever they live. That Etsy is now required to collect the tax on. It's on that receipt. But if you don't live in that state, that's the only place you'll ever find that tax that was collected for those particular states. They have not made it where there was a way for European sellers that need the information to find this. It's a little difficult because of the way the new payment account is. It used to be easier to find, and you could pull up your monthly statement in a little box up at the corner that kind of looked like this. It had, you know, tax information, and you knew what sales tax had been collected for your state. Now it's more difficult to find. So I'm going to click on here. So far in January, I've had one person that lives in the state of North Carolina that made a purchase, and they collected $1.11 for me. I was sent that money because I have to pay it to the state. If I lived in Pennsylvania or Washington or one of the other states that's just been added, I think in Oregon, a couple more. If I lived in one of those states, Etsy would collect the money, and they are required by the government and by the states that they have sales and use tax accounts with those states, and they send it in. So if you live in one of those states, they do not send it to you. They send it directly to the state. But they give you the information as to how much it sent. Here on these little boxes, you can, if you're doing quarterly, you're gonna need to go back and look at the particular months that you need for your quarterly taxes and manually add that up. For most of us, it's only going to be a few dollars sales because you probably don't get that many sales from your own state every month unless they're local. But you'll have to manually add it up. You can also find that information under settings, options, download data, and it's going to take you to the page for the CVS download files. They do not have one that just shows taxes. Hopefully, you know, because people are asking for that, they will come up with that. Currently, they don't. But you can go and say, pick whichever month you want and download the CVS file for that year. But you can't download it for quarterly or for taxes so that you can get all three at one time. You can only do by the month or by the year. So if you're doing quarterly taxes, you will need to download each month and physically add it up. Personally, if I'm doing quarterly taxes, that other report with the graph is going to make it easier because it adds up the total for you there on that page, and you can get the total for each month and then add each month up separately. If you do it this way and download the CVS file for orders, that's where you're going to find the information, is under the one for orders. The other ones for payments, sales payments and deposits don't have this. So you have to use the one that says orders. When you download it, it shows per order or per sale, and then you still have to total it up at the end. So if I was going to do my quarterly taxes, rather than use this one and find the information for sales tax here, because there has a sales tax column, and you would have to scroll down and go, okay, $1.33, and write that down. And then you're going to have to scroll down and find the $1.38 and write that down. And then you're going to have to add your total together. So this is for December of 2018. And that's how I'm going to find that total for that month. So if you're doing quarterly and you need the 3 months, you're going to have to do each of the 3 months and manually add it. Or to make it simpler for quarterly taxes, go to your payment account, go to monthly statements. I'm going to pick, you can't, this one here, well, you can go here and do the last 3 months. This is where you're going to want to get your quarterly one. You can do the last 3 months, and it will give you the total tax they collected for your state for the total 3 months. So that is where you're going to want to go to get the information for quarterly taxes, is go to that and do 3 months. You can also do 6 months if it's a state that pulls 6 months. So there's 2359. If it's one that's for this year, you're going to, or for all year, I can go here and I can find out how much they collected for all of last year was $26.55 for the state of North Carolina. If you live in Pennsylvania or wherever, you'll get that information there. But you can get it by, 3, 6, 12 months periods and the year from this page. So this page is going to be your easier page to find that tax information there based on what time frame you're looking. So if I needed to just have November, December, November, and October, and I was starting at the first of the year and I'm doing my quarterly taxes, well, say, okay, my next one will be to pay for October, November, December. At the end of December, I could hit the last 3 months and I would have had the figure for those 3 months. Should have done it then. I didn't. So now I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to actually add up those months, and I'm going to have to go back and pull each month separately for the 3 months that I need. To do that, you would click all statements and then go to the ones that you need. So I would go to October, and I can download the CVS file, or I can look right here and easily see that in the month of October, they didn't collect any taxes for me. So I don't have to worry about October. So then I can go down and I can go back and go, and I can do November. And I can see that in the month of November, they collected $7.86 for me. And I can write that down. And then I can go back and do December, and I can see they had $1.53. So for the whole quarter, I only have 2 months that they actually collected taxes for me. I can add those 2 figures that I find in this little box up, and I have my information. Or I can do it by doing that CVS download. But if you're doing the quarterly, this is going to be your easier way to find your information for the months that you need, and then just add the 3 months up right fast. And you can see it easily. You don't have to search through a CVS download to do it, and you don't, it's just going to make it a little easier and faster for you to get the information. If you're doing it yearly, or you're just, you're doing your yearly taxes and you want to know how much you paid for the entire year, same thing. You can come right here, and you can go to payment account, and you can say, I want to find out exactly what I paid for all of last year, and you hit all of last year, and then it's going to give you that information. I paid sales at $26.57 of sales and use tax for the entire year. If you live in Pennsylvania or somewhere that actually Etsy collects it for, at any of those states, you go to the same place, click last year, and there's your total for the entire year. It's going to save you tons of time. It's going to save you time from doing that CVS download and having to write it all down and add it up manually. You can do it that way, but this is going to be much quicker for you to get that. And you can just kind of copy the page, screenshot it, and print it out, and you've got all your information for the year. You paid, I paid $721 in listing fees. I paid $1,500 in marketing fees, $13 for shipping labels, $26.57 for tax for my state, and transaction fees were $1,283 for the year. Everything right here in a nutshell for the entire year. Makes it so much easier than the downloading that CVS file and having to manually add it up for yourself. That is one thing that when they've done this, they have made it easier to get all that information. Some people do not know where to go and look for it, so it's making it a little harder on themselves, doing all this CVS downloading and then sitting down and manually adding it up when it's all right there in a nutshell for you. You just have to know where to look for it. I can already do this year because they haven't collected but $1.90. I know exactly how much I've spent this year already because it's there. The other way to find it, that is the much more involved, not as simple, is to go to settings, options, download data. And I mean, if I was just going to do it just to keep up with the piece of paper, I would do it from here, download CVS. But I'd just I'd get my figures from the other place because it's already done for you and simple. You can go here, you can put orders. Do not pick them up if you're wanting to do the year. You just pick the year for 2018, hit download, and then you're going to have that Excel spreadsheet, and you get to figure out all of those totals yourself and see if it matches up with the other page, and it should. It just makes it take longer to do it this way because you're going to have to manually add up all of this information here for you, and it's going to give you the card processing fees. You have to add that up, the net, the whatever. It's going to do it all for you there. But to get the taxes, you're going to have to go over and find the tax column, which is where I have a lot of zeros, and if there's a number there, then add it up. But you can get the information from either location. If you want more detailed information on was it on sale when they purchased it, that kind of thing, this downloads file for the order is where you want to get that. You can print it out and do it. But if you're just in a hurry, in a quick way to get what you need, so you know what you're going to put in for your taxes, if you're like me and I do mine myself, all I need to do is go to the finance, payment account, and I can get all the information for the entire year in one click. Or for the 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, I can do it all from there, from right here, from the monthly statement page. I like that it does have the 3, 6, and 12 months on here, and that you can pick this year and last year to get the information. I hope that that helps somebody and makes it a little easier for you, and you can breathe easy because now you know right where to get that tax number at and save yourself tons of time. And it doesn't matter what state you live in. The only figure that pulls up there where it says tax is the state that you live in. And that's the only other thing you need to know is if you live in a state that they collect it, and pretty soon we're all going to be living in a state that Etsy collects it and mails it in for us. You just need to go online and fill the paperwork out and put a note that it was collected by Etsy and mailed in. And the government's going to reconcile it and make sure Etsy sent them the proper amount of money. You won't have to do anything else with it. I hope that's helpful information. Y'all have a good day.